Mark your calendars down for November 1st, 2022, because that is the NFL trade deadline. And with the Eagles 4-0, soon to be 5-0, then 6-0, you know Howie is going to be a major player. Dallas still stinks. By doing King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So I don't care if it's free agents. I don't care if it's trades. With the Eagles sitting at 4-0, soon to be 5-0, then 6-0. That's right, I said 6-0. And knowing Howie Roseman's MO, the Eagles are going to be major players when it comes to upgrading this roster one way or the other. Now, before we get into this, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe if you like the content. And if you've been subscribed for a while, you know the deal. Just double check. Double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Now, I got to give a huge shout out to the real DJ. He sent me something talking about the Eagles and the possibility of them trying to go after or signing Odell Beckham Jr. Because, as you guys know, Odell Beckham Jr. is a free agent right now. He's coming back from injury. I think he'll be back sometime like in November. So there's a lot of speculation where he may go. Some people think the Eagles should take a shot and bring him in because they look at it and say, wow, you probably could get Odell Beckham Jr. really cheap right now, okay? Because coming back from torn ACL, and if you could get him cheap and then you add him with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal, I mean, it could be a huge bargain, especially if he's healthy. Now, my thoughts on Odell Beckham Jr. are this: I'm not that interested in it. I'm going to be honest, I'm not that interested in it. Not because I don't think he's a good player when he's healthy. Part of it is he's coming back from a torn ACL in November. He's an older guy now. I don't know how healthy he's going to be, and I don't know how much money he would want. That would be the biggest factor. I really personally like the guys that the Eagles have right now, okay? And shout out to the real DJ, man. Thank you for sending me that info. But I like the guys we have. I like, obviously, he wouldn't be above AJ or Devontae, but I like Quez and I like where Quez is. I like Zach Pascal in the role that he's playing. I think the receivers are good. Now, an injury or something like that, knock on wood, that could change anything at any time, no question about it. But right now, I think if the Eagles are going to go out and make moves, I think that there are bigger positions that they could fill right away that would help that team a lot more than Odell Beckham Jr. And there's going to be a lot of rumors. There's going to be a ton of stuff going on. I think we're going to see a very active trade deadline. And the trade deadline is November 1st this year. So it's November 1st. I believe the last game before the trade deadline will be that Pittsburgh game. So the Eagles essentially have Arizona, then they have Dallas, then they have a bye week and they come back. They play Pittsburgh, and then a day or two later, it's like the trade deadline's here. Okay, I think the Eagles could make moves before the trade deadline. I think you're going to see them do something. There's no way that this team, if they are 5-0, 6-0, there is no way that Howie Roseman's just going to sit on it. He's going to upgrade the roster. Where does he go? That's the giant question. And I'll say this. I think the first position that he would go, and this is barring any injuries that could come up or occur, God forbid, we don't need any of that. But right now, where we're at, I would say defensive line. I still think they're going to add another piece on the defensive line, somebody to rotate in. However, the Eagles lead the league in sacks with 16. I think they got they got 3 or 4 guys over 2 sacks. Shout out to Jacob Media. They posted something. I can't remember what it exactly said, but it was something like that, okay? And they're doing a really good job getting to the quarterback, and I think that's going to continue. But you did lose Derek Barnett, and if you do want to help out your rotation, I think that's a spot where you could look to get better. Now, that spot, defensive end, pass rusher, I think you hold out on that. I think you hold out to the trade deadline. You see what teams want to be sellers, and then you go out and you possibly make a move. I don't think it necessarily has to be a huge move like a giant splash, but I think somebody that could come in and fit in rotationally, I think is the way to go. I don't know that this team is going to make a big name splash. I think you're going to see them make improvements in terms of the depth of the roster. I think you'll see some of that, but I don't know if there's a big splash coming the Eagles' way. I don't know if it has to. You're loaded on this team. I don't know that you need a big name. We got to see who's going to wiggle free, right? The thing with Odell Beckham Jr. is he's a free agent right now, so he could sign with anybody right now today, and he's probably cheap. But like I said, with his age and coming back from that injury usually takes a full year. I think that the Eagles should just stick with what they have at wide receiver. I wouldn't be that interested in Odell Beckham. Now, if he was 100% healthy and at a good price, yeah, I mean, it would add an element. It'd be very hard to cover that team. But I don't think he's healthy, We're going to get a lot of crazy rumors, not just for the Eagles, but around the league. I mean, we're already hearing, at least I've heard a couple times, the possibility that the Buffalo Bills would trade for Saquon Barkley. If he ends up in Buffalo is scary as hell, okay? Because I think they could upgrade their running back. And if you added the way Barkley looks this year with his explosion, he looks like he's back. That would be a hell of a move by the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be some interesting pieces. I think Barkley's a free agent at the end of the year. Now, I'll tell you what, I would love to add Barkley to the Eagles. Okay, like, could you imagine that compliment of Barkley, Miles Sanders? That's what I'm talking about. The Giants would never do it. Giants are not going to trade Saquon Barkley to the division. That would be crazy. The Eagles would have to massively, and I mean massively, overpay for something like that. Because when you pay, and they should, I'm a firm believer that if you're trading somebody in your division, then the team that is receiving the player that you're trading, they got to pay. They got to pay the vig. You got to pay the vig. That's why when the Cowboy fans are like, well, we need Andre Dillard. You could give us Andre Dillard because we're the Cowboys and we're the best team ever. And anybody that we want to trade for, your team has to give us the guy because we're America's team. Now, you want Andre Dillard, you're going to pay the vig. Now, they don't need him anymore, but who knows, they may need a backup quarterback. I don't know what's going on in Dallas with the quarterback controversy. Why am I seeing controversy? Why is there a quarterback controversy in Dallas? Does anybody understand this? I don't get it. I don't understand why. Cooper Rush has done a decent job filling for Dak, but he's not Dak Prescott. But hey, listen, if Dallas, keep seeing people talk about we should trade Dak Prescott. Good luck. Go ahead and do it. Have fun with that. I heard Mitch Trubisky. I'm all out of whiskey, 'cause I lost my Trubisky. I know Philly was right to say that the Bears still stink. He's going to get traded. Who the hell wants him? Who? As far as the Eagles go, we have Gardner Minshew. Would you trade Gardner Minshew and risk not having a backup? Because the way I see it, I don't think I could trade him. Not that he's ever got a chance to start over Hurts. He doesn't. But if you do have injury, God forbid, I think he's a capable backup that could go in and win, especially with the roster you have. So I think that he's off limits. Andre Dillard, I would look at him and say he is a potential guy that I would move. But I have to get a lot for him. We already have Jordan Mailata out. We could use him back. So having him and the depth of having Andre Dillard on our roster could pay dividends depending upon how long Jordan Mailata is out. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting to see because I look at this team and I'm like, man, I love these players. I don't want to get rid of any of them. I'm trying to figure out how am I going to sign T.J. Edwards to an extension and Kaiser White to an extension and James Bradbury to an extension. Like, these guys got to stay because this is a good team. It's a good team. But I do expect the Eagles to be in on something. If you're 6-0, 6-1, 7-0, whatever it is, if you're that good, then you have to take a shot. At that point, you've got to be aggressive at the trade deadline. I'll never forget 2017. Wake up. Jay Ajayi gets traded to the Eagles. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody heard his name before. We had no idea. What was interesting about that was that the Eagles said that they kind of scouted Jay Ajayi while they were having the joint practices. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm thinking of, all right, where would Howie go? Like, where could he possibly go in terms of trade? Because Howie usually kind of surprises us. It's always somebody we never knew was even on the block. But I think looking back at the teams you have joint practices with and see if there's anybody in the roster that could be on the move, that could be a situation where the Eagles look to bring somebody in. So it's going to be fascinating because with this team winning, they are definitely buyers. Now what we have to figure out is who are going to be the sellers and what positions can you upgrade. Like I said, I do think the Eagles are going to be very active leading up to the trade deadline. I don't know that it's going to be a big name splash. I think most likely it's going to be really good depth pieces. But if somebody shakes free, somebody from one of these teams is out of it and wants a pick, and an opportunity presents itself, that's the one thing we've done really well this year. We've capitalized on opportunities. Okay, so. We're going to have to watch it, but it's going to be very interesting. As far as Odell Beckham goes, I would steer away from him right now. I think that the Eagles need to focus on other positions like defensive end, okay? I don't even mind if you still want to even get another safety, although I like Epps and I like Gardner Johnson. I think Gardner Johnson is coming along fine, but if something was to swing free. But I should say this, and I almost forgot, and if I did, you should have double moonwalked my ass. No question about it, none. You gotta upgrade, and the main thing, and I don't know why I didn't say this earlier in the video, but you've gotta upgrade special teams. Special teams Haason. You've gotta try to find a returner. I'm willing to pay somebody a third-round pick if I could get a good returner off of a team. We should definitely look at the teams that we practice against. Look at their practice, the open practices like Miami. Let's go back Cleveland. Who could possibly be available? Who is a good returner? Those are the teams that I'm looking at trying to see who could come or swing free that the Eagles might have scouted during training camp. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. When you're winning, you get to talk about these things because good things happen to those that win. So with that said, take care. I will be streaming later tonight, so look for that. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Alright, so on the Erect Penis Network tonight, we've got the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. Now, once again, these Thursday games, they try to put every team on one Thursday game, and sometimes these aren't the greatest games. I wish they would have had another game on the schedule, but it is what it is. As I look at this Colts-Denver Bronco game, right, I'm going to do I like my 2-game parlay, so I'm going to take the Denver Broncos minus 3.5, and I'm going to take the over of 42. And I'm going to take the Broncos in the points, and then I'm going to take the over. And I'll probably do that for $100. I haven't put it in yet, but I will in a little bit. The other thing that I'm watching in this Colts game, the one thing that I'm really focusing on because I think it could happen, I think it's only a matter of time before Nick Foles is a starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. I think it's only a matter of time that we're going to see Foles and Frank Reich again out there on the field. It's going to happen because I don't think Matt Ryan has anything left. So maybe tonight is the night. Now, if that happened and Foles came in and played, all of a sudden that game gets really interesting to me. With that said, Denzel Washington out.